This is tuned in. Hey, I couldn't be live with you all today, so I wanted to still share what it was that I was hearing the Spirit of God say to share today. This is the month of June, and we are already halfway into our year. This is the halfway mark. And even on last year, I remember around this time, I was sharing a message about managing your middle. And so often we can be, become distracted. We can become so inundated with different responsibilities and things that we're taking care of, that the vision that we set out to accomplish for this year, we find ourselves in June and we're like, what in the world is going on? So listen, we've got to reset. We've got to be refocused, and we've got to make sure we're eliminating frustration. Sometimes frustration happens because things don't always pan out the way that we think that they're going to pan out. Things don't always line up the way we think that they're supposed to line up. And sometimes we just don't have all of our ducks in a row, so to speak. But listen, there's a such thing as a second win. And it's this thing that happens to runners when they are in the middle of a race and they've been running a while, and all of a sudden in the middle of the race, when they're halfway to the finish line, they start feeling fatigue. They start feeling lethargic. They may even have developed some types of cramps and things that are going on in their legs or calves or whatever have you. And they really, really have to be focused on finishing and finishing strong in order to push through the complications, to push through the fatigue and the different things, that the challenges that their body is facing. And so you and I may have to also, at this time, as we find ourselves at this midway point of the year, find ourselves having to push through some things that we were not expecting to come up at this time. But guess what? There's a such thing as a second win. It's like a runner's high. And so they get a vision, they get a view of that finish line. And, sometimes they're even tempted to be distracted by the person that's in the next lane that seems to have passed them. But instead of being discouraged by the person that passed them, what it should do is encourage them to say, if they can go at that speed, if they can keep going, if they can push past their challenges, then shucks, I'm going to push past my challenges. And it causes them to get this thing called this second win. And all of a sudden they find this energy, they find this zeal, they find this inner strength, and somehow, some way, they begin to push through all of the problems. They begin to push through all of the different challenges and things that their body is saying that they cannot do. And they get a view of the destination of how they want to finish. And they begin to go at it with the strength and the vigor that they did when they initially started. And they find themselves going faster and beyond what they thought they could do physically, because of their mindset, because of their focus, because of their goal, because of what they begin to tell themselves. You have to tell yourself that you are a finisher. You have to tell yourself that you have what it takes. You have to tell yourself that you have an inward strengthener. Him, Holy Spirit, who's going to strengthen you. He's going to encourage you. He's going to comfort you. He's going to motivate you. But guess what? He cannot do it for you. But he will be all of those things as we set out and begin to act in our faith, or act on our faith, towards the things that we're going after. So listen, I decree and declare and release upon you a second win, so that in this next 6 months, or this last part of the year, that you will go hard after what it is that you said you wanted to accomplish. You will not be distracted by comparison. Comparison is an enemy that causes paralysis. You can begin to compare yourself to what others are doing, and all of a sudden it makes you feel stagnant. It makes you feel like you're not accomplishing anything. But listen, run your race, stay in your lane, stay focused on where you're going, and begin to accelerate, begin to go after it with all of the force and vigor that you did when you started. There is a second win that's available for you, and it's even upon you right now. So say, I receive it, go after it, and get to the destination. I am cheering you on. God bless you, and I'll see you soon.